Michel Foucault, The Order of Things, and Archaeology of the Human Sciences. In The Order of Things, and Archaeology of the Human Sciences, Michel Foucault takes readers on an enlightening journey through the evolution of knowledge systems. This summary delves into the historical shifts from the 16th century's reliance on resemblance, through to the paradigms of representation and humanism that followed. By examining the methods by which we've historically categorized the world, highlighted notably through the lens of art like Velázquez's Las Meninas, Foucault challenges the notion of innate and immutable truths. Instead, he uncovers the hidden connections and mystical affinities that once formed the backbone of human understanding. Readers will explore key transitions in Western thought, such as the shift from mystical interpretations to systematic classifications, and the complex interplay between language, life, and desires. This exploration invites us to reconsider modern truths and the often arbitrary structures that underpin them.
Patterns of resemblance. Have you ever paused to ponder how we classify the myriad entities around us, animals, plants, objects, and on what basis we decide which belong together? The surprising revelation is that our categorization systems aren't as instinctive as they've been made to seem. In a captivating exploration of knowledge, Foucault dives into history, spotlighting the 17th century canvas, Las Meninas, by Diego Velázquez. The artwork, featuring figures of the Spanish court, including Velázquez himself, beautifully exemplifies the dynamic between representation and the represented, introducing the foundational concept of resemblance that once shaped our understanding of the world. In the 16th century, resemblance was the linchpin around which knowledge systems revolved. It wasn't merely a theory, but a doctrine that dictated how different entities naturally mirrored or influenced each other through hidden bonds. Foucault outlines 4 types of resemblance: convenience, emulation, analogy, and sympathy. Convenience dictated that closeness in space or time meant similarity in essence. Plants growing side by side were perceived to share mystical properties. Emulation proposed that even distant entities, like stars and earthly events, were connected through underlying similarities, influencing one another in profound ways. Analogy allowed for a rich tapestry of meanings across different realities, where patterns in one realm echoed within another, such as the human body reflecting the cosmic order. Sympathy described the mysterious allure and repulsion between things based on their hidden affinities, for instance, plants resembling body parts they purportedly healed. For Renaissance thinkers, these various forms of likeness were more than mental constructs, they were deemed the keys to deciphering the world's intricate order. This worldview saw language and reality intertwined, an idea reminiscent of biblical narratives where God's original vocabulary perfectly captured nature. Although the Tower of Babel fragmented this ideal language, the belief endured that words could closely align with reality well into the 19th century. By delving into how knowledge in the 16th century was anchored in resemblance, Foucault unveils the layers of contingency behind what we consider objective truths today. Our contemporary understanding has distanced itself from these esoteric connections, recognizing the imperfect nature of language in encapsulating reality. At some point in history, the fundamental principles of knowledge experienced a seismic shift, challenging and transforming the elaborate system of resemblance that once dictated our comprehension of the world. Shifting stars and words. Imagine a time when stars and walnuts were thought to hold mystical truths, unveiling the mysteries of the universe through their shapes and symbolism. In the 17th and 18th centuries, a profound transformation unfolded in Western thinking. Truth, once believed to be mystically encoded in nature's likenesses, gradually became a subject of systematization. Mathematics and taxonomy emerged, shifting the focus from mystical wholeness to order and differentiation. Knowledge began to stem from comparing and quantifying rather than relying on cosmic symbols. As this shift deepened, language underwent a transformation. Words, previously linked to the revelation of hidden truths, took on the role of representational tools akin to painting. They catalogued phenomena, no longer tied directly to the world's secrets. This new perception of language as a human construction led to an increasingly arbitrary relationship between words and their meanings. It allowed facts to stand apart from imagination and fiction, leading science and literature to evolve in separate directions. The newfound detachment between language and reality opened the door for rhetoric, aesthetics, and interpretive fields to flourish independently from the positivist sciences. These sciences now concentrated on classifying objects based on observation rather than veiled meanings. The pursuit of knowledge turned toward systematic description, measurement, and analytical categorization, moving away from the belief that truth spoke through natural symbols alone. This intellectual shift toward representation redefined the quest for knowledge, propelling it into a domain requiring active modeling and verification of truths. No longer self-evident, knowledge became a pursuit filled with complexity and incomplete systems. It's a journey towards an ever-elusive understanding that continues to challenge the boundaries of perception and discovery. Knowledge revolution. In a time where the 17th and 18th centuries leaned heavily on rigid frameworks to interpret the world, everything was clear-cut and compartmentalized, from scientific classifications to grammatical sequences. Yet, the dawn of the 19th century brought a seismic shift, challenging these static methods. Representation of knowledge persisted, but its nature transformed, fueled by an evolving understanding of life's essence, language dynamics, and human desires. No longer confined to simplistic interpretations, these areas embraced unpredictability and change. Take economics, for instance. Previously, an item's value was dictated by direct human necessity, hinging on trade and barter systems. Adam Smith, however, redefined this by introducing labor as the core measure of economic value. This new approach allowed a universal quantification of value, independent of immediate utility. In natural sciences, authorities like Georges Cuvier ushered in a profound shift. The study of external traits expanded to include internal anatomy, focusing on the very structures underpinning life. This enriched understanding foregrounded life's biological intricacies, unveiling deeper insights beyond surface categorizations. Language, once merely a tool for expression, emerged as a subject worthy of rigorous scrutiny. Scholars began unraveling its grammatical intricacies, historical evolution, and fundamental rules, appreciating it as a dynamic system. This transition gave birth to modern literature, which celebrated language as a medium for self-reflection and creative exploration. Through these changes, the stable anchors of old systems, be it in biology, economy, or language, were uprooted, giving rise to vibrant, fluid avenues of thought. These new paradigms offered room for innovation but also introduced uncertainties, shaping the groundwork for our contemporary understanding of life and human drives. Unraveling human nature. The concept of human nature as we know it is a relatively recent construct, emerging predominantly in the 19th century. This idea of a universal human identity paved the way for modern intellectual frameworks but brought more questions than definitive answers. Before its advent, people didn't scrutinize life, language, and labor through the lens of innate human traits. However, as the once clear-cut idea of human nature evolved, it highlighted the limitations of reason in grappling with the complexities of existence. Scientists began noticing discrepancies between tidy theoretical models and the chaotic realities of human experience, dealing with unpredictability in mortality. This led to a tension between the pursuit of absolute truths and the necessity to ground ideals in individual experiences. Relativism and subjectivity challenged universal claims, leading thinkers like Freud and Nietzsche to explore new ideas. Freud examined the creative unconscious, revealing unstable social foundations, while Nietzsche championed individual self-determination against societal norms. The rise of disciplines like psychology and sociology didn't uncover an essential human nature, rather, they demonstrated how this concept evolved historically. Human knowledge and self-perception, influenced by their eras, shifted rather than developed in a straightforward manner. These fields formalized contemporary ideas of normality, yet they inadvertently paved the way for repressed narratives to redefine sanity, sexuality, and identity. Michel Foucault observed that human sciences exist in an ambiguous realm, neither purely scientific nor solely philosophical. As they attempt to organize complex realities, like desire and society, there remains an insurmountable divide between living experiences and abstract models. This unpredictable human element surfaces in literature and art, suggesting that our current understanding of human nature could someday vanish as suddenly as it appeared. Perhaps holistic approaches could unite science, society, and self, transcending traditional knowledge boundaries. Shifting foundations of truth. Evolution isn't just about biological change, it's about the intellectual journey that has transformed our understanding of knowledge itself. As our system of knowledge has progressed, from ancient resemblances, through symbolic representations, to humanism, a vibrant creativity was unleashed but, paradoxically, so was instability. The structured ways of classifying truth gave way to organic and evolving systems of understanding, challenging the old methods of analysis and questioning the very essence of meaning. Is meaning born from our constructed systems of measurement and logic, or does it require us to acknowledge the inherent identity of things? This transition provoked debate. Does knowledge spring from active human creativity or from patient observation of natural processes? The era of unyielding certainty dissolved into an age of dynamic innovation, sowing the seeds for philosophies like transcendentalism and positivism. These shifts remind us of two key insights. First, all truths are products of their history. What seems eternal is often subjected to temporal change. Knowledge's foundations have shifted multiple times, offering ever newer perspectives. Second, life's complexity demands a fusion of reasoning and intuition, akin to viewing an object from different angles for a fuller understanding. These intellectual upheavals parallel the landscape of discovery, where questioning and transcending current paradigms unlock new insights. Each historical period constructs its knowledge from unique starting points. What one era hails as reason, another might dismiss as myth. The modern unease stems from losing those once certain foundations, and while we view today's truths as progressive, they might shift as seamlessly as those of the past. Michel Foucault provides us with a lens to examine the arbitrary structures shaping our understanding of reality. By deciphering these frameworks, we can gain the power to reimagine and reshape our knowledge. The lesson is clear. What we perceive as solid truths may not be as stable as we believe, reminding us to remain open to the ever-changing narrative of human understanding.
In conclusion, Foucault's exploration in The Order of Things illuminates the fluid nature of knowledge and truth across the centuries. He reveals that what we perceive as foundational truths have evolved through ever-changing cultural and philosophical paradigms, from the intrinsic resemblances to the structured representations and beyond. This underscores the instability and contingency inherent in what we call objective reality. By tracing these shifts, Foucault encourages us to question the very epistemological frameworks that shape our understanding today. The text is a reminder that truth is not a fixed entity but a product of its historical and cultural context. In recognizing the arbitrary nature of our epistemic systems, we open ourselves to new, potentially more holistic paradigms of thought and reveal the possibility of future ruptures in our collective self-conception. Foucault's insights remain relevant, inviting ongoing reflection on the foundations of human sciences and their impact on our worldview.